welcome to Nightbreed. How are you, man?
Thanks. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm pretty much stayed there. Old, really.
All good, man. So how did Apocalyptic Remnants begin?
Well, it began when I was tasked with writing some music for a friend's book. They wanted specifically for it to be a death thrash metal hybrid, and previously I'd only ever written and recorded black metal. So that was probably the most difficult thing. Is I started in 2016, so long time ago, and pretty much relearned how to do everything. So I started as a vocalist. I had no idea what I was doing when it first came to writing music, and when I first began with my first project, Immortus, it was very obvious that I didn't really know how to play solos, even how to properly write music. I reckon probably the best way of putting it. So I went from doing practically very DIY stuff to then trying to do something that was going to sound a hell of a lot different, and I needed to be able to write guitar properly. So I went back and I retaught myself everything. And yeah, been working on those same songs now for about 5 years until the release at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And did I hear that right? You were saying it was for a friend's book. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. That's the original, the concept of the music and zombie apocalypse themes is for a friend's book that is currently unreleased. Yeah, it's pretty much revolving around a band who they weren't a band beforehand. They were in the zombie apocalypse, and then through a weird butterfly effect twist of events, the reality changes. They end up back in life beforehand, and because they're all musicians beforehand, they decided, well, hey, let's get together and write some music, because that's all we've got to do. And the zombie apocalypse themes become just the venting of the frustration of being not dealing with their new reality, I suppose, and dealing with I'm trying to find the best way to describe it. Dealing with the trauma that they faced. So that was when I stepped into that. That was something I had to sort of just delve into. What I would have feel if I were in that situation, and having to come back from things. So yeah, I don't know if that explains things.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah.
It's yeah. But yeah, anyway, that was really how it began. I took it on, and yeah, I was happy with what I created, and I became more passionate about it than I was with recording my black metal. So
oh, cool.
I don't know if I'll go back now.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of bands did you draw influence from for Apocalyptic Remnants?
One of the biggest ones that I actually drew inspiration from was Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse typically writes very low-tuned music, whereas I was doing an E standard, and I wanted to incorporate a little bit of how Cannibal Corpse's playing style into a higher tuned, typical thrash metal tuning. So that was one of the biggest things that influenced me. Thrash metal, as far as thrash metal goes, I was one of the biggest ones. It was Slayer is an obvious one. Demolition Hammer and Slayer and Demolition Hammer, Sodom.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a few obvious Sodom nods. particularly in Harbingers of Death track 2. But yeah, I'll say they'd be the main 3. I was pretty much relearning everything from scratch. Like a lot of solos that I wrote, I really looked at how bands write solos, and Metallica was a big influence to me there as well. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the best 4 I can come to. You can clearly see I didn't think too much about this before I started.
That's all good, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like the title track, the Eaten Alive, that kind of slower, moshy. That's good stuff, man, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's actually interesting because Eaten Alive originally, it wasn't even going to be called Eaten Alive. It's only when I got the cover art back, and about a week before the release, I decided Eaten Alive is going to be the album. It's going to be the album name. It was originally going to be The Pestilential Scourge, which is track 4. And I saw the album art, and I was like, the album art is Eaten Alive all over it, so it has to be Eaten Alive. Yeah. But the slow Eaten Alive was intentionally written so that the chords were nasty sounding, and they were meant to make you feel uncomfortable as a listener. The chords are flat, intentionally flat. The sliding chords that come into the chorus are out of tune even further with. See, I talk not in a musician way. I talk in a way that I'm DIY putting it together, but it's not like a complete bar chord. It's like the fingers closer together. So as I'm sliding, it's sounding disgusting, pretty much. That was the aim of it. Yeah. I am not a classically trained musician in any respects. I do not know terminology. I just do what I do things by my own rules, I suppose.
Cool. Sorry, yeah.
Feel good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about the cover. So James, Spectral Visions Art, he does great work. He's done a couple of covers for me as well. Pearl, what was the input from you before he came up with that? Like, did you have a specific idea in mind?
Oh, I said zombie swarming the victim. That's it. And then he went to work.
Yeah, it's coming out
That
really
was
well.
pretty much it. Yeah. That's what I was. That was what I was looking to do, and yeah, he was like, yeah, cool, and he knocked that up. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But there's I actually asked him to do 2 because I have the second Remnants album that it's due later this year.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I did 2 of them. I've been I worked myself pretty hard through COVID. I originally had the second one lined up. I thought, why not record it with the lockdown? So I asked James to do originally 3 artworks for me, but I postponed the 3rd because I can't actually do the 3rd album I want to do. But he's working on the 2nd now, and the 2nd album is complete, and that's getting mixed and mastered. So it probably I'm hoping the first half of this year we'll have the 2nd one out too.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, James, I asked him to do the 2 at once. He's doing the 2nd.
Yeah, great. So you're saying you've been writing the songs. How'd you get together with Simon and Sorcha? Well,
I've known Simon for years. Simon did all the mixing and mastering for my original black metal albums. That's how we came close. I contacted him because I remember who it was that put me in contact with Simon. I have no idea who it was now, but somebody put me in contact with Simon all those years ago, over 10 years ago. But I've known him from playing Chaos Divine. Sorcha, I've known ever since I saw her in the audience at an EPW event. Sorcha has been going to see wrestling shows for the last, I think I met her in 2014. Whereas I am a professional wrestler. That's what I do outside of, that's probably the main thing I do. Music probably comes after wrestling. I'm probably a wrestler before I'm a musician now.
Yeah.
But didn't start that way, but it's definitely that way now. Yeah, so I've just known her through, you know, she attends the shows, and, you know, we got talking that way. And when I needed a vocalist for the project, I was like, well, you know, oh, so should we go back? So yeah, she agreed, and the rest is history. Originally, I wanted to do vocals, but because I spent so much time wrestling, and then I don't often practice. It had been 5 years since I recorded my voice, and I just completely choked, and it sounded terrible. So I went, gotta relearn how to do vocals now. And so I asked Saoirse if she could fill in for me, because it just was hopeless, absolutely terrible. So yeah, Saoirse agreed. Saoirse recorded for me, and I'm actually doing vocals for the second album.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to get Saoirse for the second one, but she didn't have the time. She's got Carl Bath and all things going on with that. Yeah, so I, you know, did a bit of practice, and I'm back up to speed, I suppose. So yeah, but anyway, that's how I go back with those guys.
Yeah, sweet. I'm talking about wrestling. What's your theme music? Like, have you recorded something yourself, or have you got another track in there? What are you coming out to?
Originally, I actually recorded a Motorhead cover for when Lemmy Kilmister died. That hit me really hard, actually. Big Motorhead. It hit me really hard. And I was in the middle of recording Immortus's Blood, Bone and Flesh. It was really very close to finish. It was a 9-track, and I had a Bathory cover on the end. I went, oh, fuck it, I'm doing a Motorhead cover now as well. I'm just gonna, and I recorded an Orgasmatron cover. And yeah, I ended up picking that as my music when I came back. Simon ended up, you know, hearing it and said, when you're coming out live, you know, because you're pretty lo-fi black metal, it doesn't sound the best quality when you come out. So he goes, I'll re-record the guitar for you, and I'll remix it. I went, sure. And he went, yeah, I'll do that. So he did that, and I ended up coming out to a different non-album version of my cover of Orgasmatron. So yeah, that's what I've been using for years. But if I go singles again, it's probably likely going to be a track.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. Yeah. So, do you think Apocalyptic Remnants will ever hit the stage? Like, if you get, you know, musos together, that kind of thing?
I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. I really think it depends on A, having the members, B, having the time. I've got a number of things that I'm constantly bogged down with. I've got other musical projects that I've recorded, and I've got to, you know, oversee. But yeah, it's a number of factors in that. Yeah, personally, I'd love to, but yeah, it's whether A, I can find the people, B, time. But yeah, I guess never say never.
Yeah, cool. So you were saying sort of mid-year, hopefully, this second album. Do you have a title in mind? Like, can we get that one, or are you kind of
the current title is No Way Out.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about the change, so yeah. I don't want to put too much hope into that. But yeah, the current title is No Way Out.
Yeah.
It's also a 9-track.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think there are 4 songs on the second one that are 4 of my favorite songs I've ever written, and I can't wait to hear them back. But yeah, the current title is No Way Out. May change down the road, depending on whatever happens. You know, like Eaten Alive was changed day before, like week before it was released.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably better say as well, when it comes to the Apocalyptic Remnants albums, I actually did originally record the guitar. Okay. But because of my lack of knowledge of, I suppose, mixing, mastering, and modern ways of recording guitar, I'm recording with a pedal that doesn't translate very well. When it comes to the mixing and mastering. So that's when Simon called me and he said, "Hey, look," he goes, he offered to re-record the guitar for me, based on the fact that it would overall have a better sound, probably be appreciated more. And I said, yeah, go for it. So that's the weight for the second one is pretty much based on him learning the guitar.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. So and he's busy himself. He's got obviously all the things he needs to do, and he's working on other albums aside from mine. So yeah, but I guess we'll see where it leads.
Yeah, too easy. Cool. All right. Well, look, Ryan, thanks for your time, and yeah, definitely looking forward to hearing the next